Celtic fans' view, I thought I'd go for a sleep. Maybe think that the game never really happened, and that I woke up and it was a dream, but it wasn't. It really happened. So let's listen to Brendan Rodgers, see what he has to say on the game.
I thought it was a poor game.
You thought it was a poor game. Brendan, you're the manager at Celtic and you set the team up, so this is going to be an interesting 8 minutes.
Positive for us being we haven't given away much over the course of pre-season, and today I don't think we had a shot against us on target. So defensively we've been good and solid and lots of endeavour, which is great.
Is he having a laugh? We're the only team not to score against Rangers this season.
But the actual, in terms of our quality in the game, and was it's not at the level I'd expect a Celtic team to be. So
you've had a week training with the team. Well, to be fair, you came back from Kazakhstan, but you looked all good in training yesterday. What actually goes on when you're on the training pitch, Brendan? That should be one of the questions that's asked.
So that was a disappointment, but I felt overall the quality of the game wasn't a high enough level.
Why do you think the team maybe have been quite blunt today, but in those two legs against Kairat as well?
Because sadly the game is about profile of player.
So you're bringing in a worse player. So that's what you're admitting. You're admitting you're bringing in a worst level of player.
We're getting lots of work. Guys are working well and working hard. And sometimes in teams, whenever you don't quite have that feeling going into a game that you can score goals, and like we were this period last year, that was plentiful. So the team then goes in with a different energy and a different feeling, which then sparks everything off and brings that energy and that real game attitude that you want. Then that's sometimes what you get.
Brendan, it's unusual to see a Celtic team, or one of your teams, play the ball backwards as much as Celtic does. Is that part of that whole thing?
Aye, it's yeah. Well, you stop taking the risk, and of course we're missing some players, but in the meantime, when you feel that your top end of the pitch and your front can get you goals, then you get the ball through nice and quickly, and that speed.
But you're not, are you? That's the thing.
Of it, and that wasn't quite today. We were a bit safe and playing sideways or backwards, and that's not our idea of football.
It's not your ideal of football, Brendan. But the reality is you've been playing that type of football since last season. Every single Celtic fan will say that. Look, your side to side passing stuff. You've said it to Martin O'Neill, Brendan. Martin O'Neill said to you, Brendan, what's the idea of the passing side to side and coming back? And your response to Martin O'Neill was, it was to change the point of attack. This is something you've instilled in Celtic. So stop saying it's not. Stop saying that it's not you that want the team to play like this, because you do.
That wasn't a plan. Well, there wasn't a plan to contain. No, it's just the way the game worked. No, just asking that.
Well, I don't think you go into a game as a Celtic manager.
No.
And say, right, pass the ball sideways or backwards. It's never been a plan for any offensive team or club. So no, it definitely wasn't the plan, Bill.
How destructive are your preparations, given all the things in the background, the transfer window and Adam buttoned in the road and all that stuff? How was it? Interesting.
Listen, in terms of all of that, you just have to narrow in your focus on what you can control. Of course, it's
wait a minute. You said in the press conference, Brendan, that you blocked the Adam Ida move because you didn't have a replacement in. But then you allowed Adam Ida to travel back down to Swansea last night to continue finishing his medical this morning for the team.
Not been ideal for Adam and for the club, but we still have to look beyond that. I think it's very, very clear what it is we need it and what we need, and hopefully in this next 24 hours we can do that.
Pass the buck.
Because
pass the buck.
like I say, that is it's a hard watch.
I guess this next 24 hours going to be, Brendan, in terms of what you want to achieve this season?
It comes every point and every manager. You can see the beginning of the end game, and I think we can all see that in Brendan and his attitude. I think what we're seeing and watching is the beginning of the end part of Brendan Rodgers' Celtic career.
Well, yeah, I feel it is. I feel it is. It's something that it's been so clear what the team has needed and what's required. So I really hope that in this period we can do that, because, like I say, it's Celtic's DNA is around about their attacking intent, mentality, and that bit of quality, and you arrive into the final third and you're creating chances, and as I said 12 months ago, the dynamism in the team and the speed and the creativity, everything was there, and you feel you can go into games and be really dynamic and creative, and that's what we all want to see. So when it's a wee bit like that there today, then it's
not just today though, was it? That's the thing.
It's not a great watch.
No. Today a bit of a warning then, that unless the business is done in the next 24 hours, this is kind of what's going to be the fallback position. I mean, you have to beat targets and contingencies and the whole thing in place now, next 24 hours. Yeah,
listen, we've had a period of time, so we've had a long time to reinforce the squad, and listen, I'm hopeful that we can do that.
Hopeful.
Get it over the line.
Hopeful.
Otherwise,
I'm hopeful that I win the lottery.
Listen, the game is about the quality of your player. You can take the game to different levels based on your players, and but it's my responsibility to try and maximise what I can get, and out of the players that will be here. But hopefully we can get that competition in the team and reinvigorate some of the players that have been here for a long time.
Was that a hint to Brendan Rodgers? Was that him hinting that some more of our first team stars could be leaving Celtic in the next 24 hours?
Like you say, you've been here for 4 years, like Dyson and these guys. They need competition.
Brendan, do you understand people being confused or surprised that you're in this position with 24 hours all in to go? As you said, you've had a lot of time, it's been obvious what the team.
Yeah, but as I said, we can assess it at the end of the window, and so I repeat again that every coach and manager wants the players in early to bed them in and adapt to the system and the styles and get that profile of player that what we need. So, but listen, we're hopeful that we can do our work in this next period.
Hopeful. He's used the word hopeful a lot. He's taken no responsibility for the way the team play, no responsibility whatsoever. He's taken no responsibility for the mismanagement and motivation of the players going into the game. You know, he had ample opportunities to motivate the team over in Kazakhstan, 4 opportunities on separate occasions to get the team together, and he's not a Mr. Motivator anymore.
Adam, Brendan, what Mick was talking about in terms of the disruption.
Yeah.
I think fans are wondering why Adam was allowed to even travel to Swansea, not being the matchday squad without a replacement coming in. Can you understand their amusement at that?
Yeah.
Any explanation?
No, I've got no explanation for it. I think that it's not Adam's fault or his anything. So, but hopefully that'll be cleared up by today.
That's an unbelievable. I have never in all my years, and I think that there's Celtic fans all around the world sitting watching this man with bemusement. The fact that he has no explanation to why your one and only striker that has a track record of scoring goals was allowed to leave. You're playing Dyson Maeda, who looks as if he's got one eye out the door. You're playing Rio Hatate, who also looks as if he's maybe got one eye looking out the door, seeing if anybody comes in for him. And he has no explanation on why the player was allowed to leave, saying it's not Adam's fault. So Adam Maeda did not ask to leave then. Adam Maeda was told that he was leaving, if we take that.
Do you expect him to still be a Celtic player come the end of the window tomorrow?
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
You said you'd only be allowed to leave if you had those guarantees that he would be replaced. Have you had those guarantees yet that he would be replaced?
I haven't spoken to anyone since obviously we left yesterday.
So you've never spoke to anyone. So you don't get
Been
on
in
the
the
phone and
hotel
say
preparing for the
what's
game,
happening?
and obviously nothing today. So I'll pretty much sure get an update where we're at
Unbelievable.
once we leave here.
Is Casper Dolberg a player that could potentially replace Adam if he is?
Well, there's lots of names that are out there. So I think from our perspective, we just need that quality and speed in the team and the creativity. That's key for us.
Casper Dolberg, incidentally, was picked for his team today, and so is not travelling to Scotland today unless he travels also after the game. And let's say he's a player that isn't too fussy about leaving his team. He didn't ask to leave. It's not really... I mean, as a manager, Brendan Rodgers has always spoke about, jumping on the phone. Ange Postecoglou spoke about it, jumping on the phone with the player. Does the player want to come? Are you interested in coming to Celtic? Brendan Rodgers seems to be having nothing to do at all with the transfer window. And going forward, that tells me that he's not going to be the manager long term. Because you can't have someone... I mean, Brendan Rodgers is no better than what Ronnie Dyler was as a coach now. He isn't a manager of the club.
Is that the type of player, the profile of player you think would do well at Celtic, someone like Casper Dolberg? Try.
I'm over 800 games in. I don't fall for them.
What do you make of Bartlish's contribution? Obviously, thrown at the deep end.
I was thrown in at the deep end. It's a tough one, but we, in terms of wingers, he goes in and he shows some nice touches and he shows nice balance. And once he gets up to the speed and the aggression and everything that we need, I think he's going to be a really good player for us. So tough game to come in and win Ibrox, but
Sorry, Brendan.
Once he gets that real positivity in his game, he will hopefully do well, Michael.
The guy's been playing football for his team. He's a winger that came in. He's a winger that you've been after for a long time. The winger that Celtic have been after for a long time. To turn around and say that till he gets up to speed, is he just not the quality that you're really, really after?
Just ask you about Kieran Tierney as well. Obviously, kind of 70 matches seems to be his kind of ceiling at the moment. Do you expect that to change after the international break, or is there concerns of where he is in terms of...
No. I think it has to. It has to. That's the reality of it. But we knew there was going to be a period of adaptation and from the challenges that he's had over the last couple of years or so. But yeah, there's no doubt. I believe that will come. But in the meantime, he's there and he's working and playing, and obviously because of the little bit of history of the injuries, then we're just making sure with him, and if he feels something, then I'm pretty sure that'll end over a period of time where it just might be tiredness, rather than thinking that you may be going to re-injure. But yeah, it's something that we'll do over time.
So Brendan Rodgers is admitting that Kieran Tierney isn't 100% fit. We knew that we needed a left back in. We have sold a youth player to Aberdeen who can cover the left back position, who wasn't deemed good enough to be at Celtic, and Brendan Rodgers now gives. And I'm a guy that backed Brendan Rodgers to be here for the 3 years, and I'm a guy that thought that Brendan Rodgers he has lost his spark, if you ask me. He's there, sitting there. He's sitting there like a manager that's been defeated. And that isn't a Celtic manager. A Celtic manager should never be sitting with his demeanour. He's a man that looks as if he has no control over his own destiny. He's a man that looks as if he has no control over the players that he wants to bring in. He's a man that is just looking after the hot seat as a caretaker. That's what it's coming across as. Doesn't know, no explanation. He's meant to be the manager of the football club. The final decision lands with him on everything football related. Who we bring in, who we let go. It doesn't seem to be the case. And Brendan Rodgers is definitely not in control of Celtic Football Club. He is not in control of the way that his players are acting and playing on the pitch, and he doesn't seem to be able to motivate them. Do the players know that Brendan Rodgers will not be here at the end of next season? Do the players know that their players that were playing today ultimately won't away for Celtic? So many questions to be asked. Make sure that you join me later on tonight and we'll try and answer those questions.